barely tell that I've even touched this stuff. And this is just braided sleeve. It's the same thing that they make these out of when you buy these at the store. It's the same thing they make them out of. Okay, they got a machine that does all the stuff that I'm doing by hand. I wanted to show you this before my phone dies, so I can get it on the charger. I bought a Shimano 4000R. Used to come in a box like that. I have one that I'm abusing on a catfish rod right here. I got another one over here, brand new, never had line on it. It's a little dusty from working in the shop. She's a Shimano 4000R as well. So I paid a lot of money for this back in the day. You're not going to find them in that box anymore. You're going to find them in a blister pack. Clearance and amount, $11.19. They're on sale. So if you want a Shimano 4000R, trust me, I have abused it. I've abused this guy on a sturdy stick, reeling in catfish. I've done that with that guy right there. I decided to spend the $100 my son gave me on some new fishing rods. This is a Berkley Lightning Rod Shock. It's engineered for braided line, some comfort gripping, some kind of new housing. I don't know if that's how that's plastic there is going to hold up. And then I got this one here. I believe this is a two-piece. Yeah, there's the connection right there. This is a two-piece rod, and it is a amp, also by Berkley. Feels real nice, and it's a medium, moderate, fast action rod as well. And then I want something cheap. So what I ended up with, Shakespeare Excursion, and it is a medium action rod. It's pretty plain and simple. Anyway, this was straight up 20 bucks. I just got a handful of my rod and reel combos out. Now, here's the issue. We got the 3 brand new rods. I'm just going to take this guy, set it over here. Stay over there. So we got these 3 brand new rods. You're looking at $97.76 right there. And the floor's dirty. I'm working on the canoe. I found some new decay. Looks nasty. That's why R2D2 is sitting in the thing. I got the sander, the drill, the Dremel, the buckets were ready to get that going. So the Lightning Rod Shock's going to get the Shimano. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this. I was thinking about putting this Durango on it, but the drag is all messed up on it. But this guy here, it's blue and white. It's all they had. This right here is this guy here. I don't know how many of you folks go through this, but that sucker broke off right there, and right there. So this is trash. Now this is just a Shakespeare Durango, nothing fancy, and that's a Shakespeare Pro-Am. So this Pro-Am, even though it's maroon, is going to go on that guy right there. And I'm not going to feel one bit bad about it being maroon. It'd be red, white, and blue. Who cares? It's catching fish. That's what it's going to do. So here we go. I know you guys have experienced this. And this is a common problem. Unfortunately, this is a common problem. So what's the best way to fix this so they don't get tangled up and get broken? The best way I've experienced this is with a rod sock. So this rod sock, basically, it covers all the eyes, it covers all the line. So your line is not going to get twisted up into another rod and reel. The most that's going to happen is maybe a lure might get caught in it, but that's easy to get that out. And most of our lures connect to the side of the reel anyway. I have 3 of these socks made, and I'm tired of getting tangles. I'm tired of breaking rods. And I'm tired of the mess. The other organization system I have is so crowded that I can't fit all of my rods and reels in there. And this is, I keep adding them. I don't know why. So I'm going to make some socks for as many of these as I can tonight. And I'll show you that now. So for the rod sock, I'm using this braided sleeve. And the braided sleeve comes on a spool. You don't have to buy this much. This is just heat shrink tube. This is a wine bottle with the label taken off of it. A tactical lighter. First thing, oh, scissors. Pair of scissors. This one, I made them all the same size. This one here is a little shorter than what I would like. So I'm going to remake the rod sock for this guy. And I'm going to apply this to another. So we'll apply this one. Perfect fit. Alright, 33 is done. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to kind of roll this up. I'm going to kind of roll this up, roll this side to the middle, roll this side to the middle, just like that. Set it on fire. I'll show a close-up of how this is done right after this, but basically the process is you need to seal off the end of the braided sleeve, and then once you have that done, you need to cut off, I'd go about 1.5 inches of heat shrink, and then put that over the end of the sealed up braided sleeve. Then leave about 1/4 inch overlap so that the braided sleeve isn't sticking out of the heat shrink. And then once you heat up the heat shrink, then you're ready to measure how long you want that for your specific fishing rod. Now you can make these, I've made these to fit my little ultralights. I've made them to fit my biggest rod, my littlest rod. Each one is specifically made for that rod. I've got a little tangled mess here, but I measure it back to the center of the reel. And what's going to happen now is we're going to fold that under on itself. So basically, open it up and then fold it inside itself. And all those little frayed edges, those are okay. Those are going to help you whenever you form it. So now that we have this funnel cone opened up on the end, we want it to stay permanent. Okay, we want that shape. So I'm putting it over a wine bottle. Use whatever you want, Coke bottle, whatever will give you a fluted shape. And then I'm going to heat this up. Now those frayed edges that you saw, those are going to basically melt and adhere to the braided sleeve and help keep its shape. Now the braided sleeve is also going to shrink up. Here's the close-up. I'm just going to go ahead and cut my heat shrink. I could have used a smaller heat shrink, I should have. But basically we're going to seal up the end of the braided sleeve. And I found that using a screwdriver at this point to help smash that down and get it all sealed up really helps. So add a screwdriver and then basically just seal up the end. Now at the end of the video, I put a note up there. At the end of the video, I found a better way to do this to get a better seal, and it's a little more I don't know, it's a little more appealing to the eye. And then I'm just gonna, let's speed this up, get that heat shrink down. You can use a heat gun for this. I like to use a lighter because it's just simple, and my my heat gun, of course, is trash, is a Harbor Freight. And then just smash that down. In the tip later, I'll tell you why I did that. But now we're just gonna measure this up to my ultralight rod. And this is nowhere near as long as the other one, so I'm making these specific for the specific rods that I have. So you're going to see that once again, and I'll show it a little more in this one. I measure this sleeve to about the middle of the reel. So once you get all that measured up, just cut it off. Just double checking my measurement there. Alright, so now for the wine bottle, we're going to form the end. And again, you just open this up and then fold it in on itself. And just like that, it's going to take its own shape, and then we're going to want it to keep its shape. Now I only fold it in, I don't know, 1.25 inches, less than 1.5 inches, and you're going to see I measured that back to the middle of the reel. Now whenever I put this on the wine bottle here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat up the braided sleeve, and the fibers inside are going to melt and adhere to the braided sleeve, but the braided sleeve itself is going to shrink up a little bit. And just through trial and error, I found that measuring it back to the middle of the fishing reel itself, whenever this process is done, and this has kind of been heat shrinking and set so that the cone is permanent, then it will come out a few inches in front of the reel, and it usually will land right where the bait hook is, the hook catch is on the rod itself. One thing you want to be mindful of is never leave your flame in one spot too long. Always keep it moving. If you burn through this sleeve at this point, you might as well cut it off and make a shorter one for a shorter rod, or pitch it, start over. So now that it has this permanent shape, we're going to slide it onto the rod, and you're going to see that it slides back. How much material we lost, because remember, I measured this from the back side of the heat shrink to the middle of the reel, and you're going to see it lands just right in front of the hook catch on the rod itself. I found a tip I like to share with you that gave me a better seal, a better way to seal the tips off of these guys. You want to close off the end of this braided sleeve. All I do is I fold it 1/3 over, fold it 1/3 over, and then fold the other third over. Okay, it's kind of hard to show you. Fold 1/3 over, and then fold that other third over the top of that. Hold it down with your thumb, just clip it with the needle nose there. Set all this frayed stuff on fire, and when it melts down, tamp it down with a screwdriver. Set this all on fire, let it burn. Burn, Mo, burn. And then tamp it down with the screwdriver and get all that stuff melted on the end. Okay? Just like that. Now can you see that? It's all sealed. It's all, oh yeah, it's all sealed. So now I can take my heat shrink, cut off 1.5 inches of that, and shrink that up. That's a trick that I wanted to share that I've never seen on any other video. I'm not the first person to do this. I'm not the last person to do this. But I've never seen anybody do that. Anyway, the heat shrink I got, I could have went smaller. I should have went smaller. It's 3/4 inch. I should have went smaller. But it turned out real nice. Inside the heat shrink I bought, they might all do this. I don't know. It has an adhesive. So whenever I shrink this up, I took my screwdriver and I patted it down on the table, and I heated the tip up, and I used the screwdriver to squeeze that together. Then once the adhesion made contact with the braided sleeve, I heated it up again, and it shrunk up and got real tight, and it literally connected. This is not coming off, guys. This is not. 1-inch braid is a good fit for me for all my bass rods, my crappie rods, my typically any rod you have for any situation that has small eyes all the way to the reel. Spinning rods that have those big eyes that graduate down to a smaller eye, what you're going to need to do is take that measurement right there from the back of the rod to the end of the eye. Okay? Order your braided sleeve that size. And that's what I need to do because I don't have anything other than the 1 inch. and it is not going to fit over that right there. I'll tell you that right now. So that's a wrap, folks. I wanted to show off the new toys in my collection. These spinning rods my son bought me for Christmas. Well, the $100 he gave me. Said, "Here you go." I know what to spend it on. That's for sure. So I got these new toys. You guys take care. Thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. And we'll see you next time. I don't know why I bought that. Must have caught it on sale. Okay, folks. So the SD card in the GoPro is now full. So this guy, I can't shoot any more video. I could take the SD card out of this camera, but it's still a good camera. I like it. And you got to take all this crap off, and well, I guess you can just pop the clip off of this and slide it out. It's a lot of work to take the SD card out of a camera, even this one. So I'd rather just push a button on this one and start recording on this one.